Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Settlement Survival. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. In this one, we're going to start off the day with an event. Something took the bait. We're going to click the trigger and see what it says. A seasoned fisherman found something took the bait while fishing, but strangely, it was not struggling like a fish. It only appears to be something very heavy that's hooked, and it took some mad effort to drag it up. Let's take a look. Porcelain 7. Okay, we can't really do anything with that for a little while. We can trade it, but not quite yet. Okay. So, we got our fishing dock built in the last episode, at the very, very end. Remember we had the sawmill that we talked about, and this one was running planks. So what I did is I took the worker out of there, so now it's not really doing anything. And I moved the worker into this chopping house that is making the domestic fuels. And now that I'm saying that, and I'm just thinking about it, I had a little thought doodler pop in my head. I think the sawmill is more efficient at making the domestic fuels than the chopping house. So what would really make the most sense is to turn the chopping house off and put those two people into the sawmill. And so that's what we're going to do. Parker Pearl are going to get into the sawmill and continue to make us some domestic fuels to heat the homes. Now, we have zero food. It's February, so we're planting right now. We're doing okay on water. Medicine's getting kind of iffy, and timber's not that great. So we need to focus on a couple of things. I would also notice that our storage yards are getting kind of full. Oh, maybe not really. They're getting there. So what we want to do is I'm going to gather a couple more trees. I did have these marked, and then I took them off because I thought I was getting pretty full here. But I'm only going to do a handful of trees so that we get those gathered up. I don't want to do too many because I want these people to be doing some other things as well. Let me see. We got 3 builders right now. Don't really need 3 builders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 people off that, and I'm going to put those 2 people on some fishing dock action to get us some more sustainable food coming in. The farms are great, but they're really cyclical. So the fishing dock is better in this regard because it's a constant food source, where this is like you're going to get a bucket load of food at the end of the year. And yeah, so that's why we wanted to get this guy going. We got our geese going in our pasture in the last episode as well. And we're also getting marked here. Food reserve is low, and we know that. So I want 2 people as laborers. That's on purpose. Oh, I'm going to speed the game up a little bit as well. You can see that we're cutting down the trees that we just marked. So it didn't take very long. It's going to help us get our timber up, which is also going to help us get our domestic fuels up so that we have that stock and we're ready to go for the winter time. So it's spring now, it's March. So we're doing okay with the heating stuff, but we want to be prepared for the next season, of course. So I'm going to mark a handful more. That's probably what I was going to keep doing. I'm going to keep marking a handful. They're going to get gathered up, do it again and over and over and over again. And what I'm really waiting for is these guys right here. These immigrants on our timeline, which are on the way, but it looks like they're going to be here in about a year. So we have to manage with what we got for a little bit longer here. We should be able to do it just fine. We're making okay. We're making it okay. We got 10 food. It's not great, but we're working on it. It looks like we have plenty of water. I just mentioned that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take somebody off the water, and I think I'll throw them onto the dock here, and then we'll have an additional person working their dock. Again, more fish coming in, all the better. It looks like what I had marked already for trees are gathered up. So I'm going to keep doing that again. I'm going to gather all over here. I'm going to grab those plants that I see in there. There's a couple over here and there that I should also gather as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll mark gather plants and get these guys gathered up. There are a lot of them are food sources, so we want to have those as well. I don't think we have any other, any other critters. We just have geese, and we only have the pumpkin so far, so we're still looking for that stuff. We'll find it eventually. I'm just waiting for that hunter to find some more cubs. We're ready for our pastures. They're good to go. Oh, it looks like our smithy is ready as well. I'm going to take Abigail out of there for now. So what we want to do here is probably go with stone tools because stone is cheaper, but I noticed like our stock of ore is higher. So I'm going to go with some iron tools. Again, we don't have anybody working in it. Nothing's going to happen with it, but it's ready to go for when we get to that point. We have 22 tools currently. So we're not at a super urgent need for tools, but like once these guys get here, we're going to do some tool action, I think. So I want to be prepared for that. It looks like we're at cap with domestic fuels. I am going to bump this up to 500 just so that we're good to go for the next season for sure. It is May, so we have a little bit of time left, but this grabbing a little bit of trees at a time and a little bit of everything else is pretty critical right here. We're making enough wood to make those domestic fuels, and then we'll be good to go for the next winter. We do have a tech point. Now, I thought that we talked about getting mining, but we obviously didn't. So I'm kind of thinking about grabbing mining. We have, if you missed the last episode, I don't remember, we do have 3 points into agriculture. We're down to farming efficiency. I wanted this because speed of sowing and harvesting is doubled. Incredibly good. I don't care so much about farm and compost. It's all about this guy right here. Logistics, we have a warehouse. That's about it. And then I think the only other thing we really had, oh yeah, we had the sawmill, of course. We mentioned that at the beginning. We have insurance as well for trade. So I do want to do some trading in this later down the line, but not quite yet. We're not quite there yet. But we did also get the Research Institute and medical research and skin disease. I got these two so that we're ready for these immigrants. If they have diseases, we won't die out. That's why I did that. So I think let's go ahead and we'll get mining. They're maybe not though. See, I'm second guessing myself. So the reason why I'm stopping myself is because of this. We have rocks, we have iron, we got stuff all over the map, really close. So it's good to utilize this, but it's also, if something to keep in mind is that sometimes these mines take a specific resource. I can't remember which one it is, but we'll look right here. Our mine takes stone, and I think our quarry takes iron. So it's reversed. So if you use up all of the iron or the stone on the map, and you don't build your mines, besides trading, you're kind of screwed. So keep that in mind. You don't want to go too wild with that stuff. We want to be able to have the materials we need down the line. So we'll just gather up for now. We'll gather around, and then instead of that, maybe we want to get into school expansion. Could be good. Is there anything else you really want to get into? Like I said, we want to do trading, but not quite yet. Maybe we do want to get mining, and we get started with the something I want to do with a trade, which is carving workshops. So we'll talk about that later. But I think maybe I'll do mining. I think that's what we'll get into. We have processing. We don't need this for fats. That will be taken care of as we process our bison and alpaca when we get those guys. We don't have those yet. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and we'll go mining. We'll get that and get that started and ready to go. And then when we get all these other immigrants, we will have a spot for them to get started on some stuff. It'll be good. So, okay, right in here is kind of where I'm thinking for the mine. Can we actually get like as close to the road as possible here? Can we still put another one in? Oh, it looks like it's going to be really, really close. So it looks like we'll only have the one for now. So I'm going to try and go as far back as possible to try and use as little space as possible. And we'll get our little road in there. They'll clear that out. That'll be doing great. It's September. We just got our pumpkins in, so our food is green. We're doing okay. Our wood is looking okay. And we are at 500 cap for domestic fuels. So that went pretty well. We got that handled. It's September year 3. We're about to get into winter time. And then right after winter, we're going to get some immigrants. It's going to be great. We're going to grow a little bit. Our distillery is getting built up. We also want to find some agave for that distillery pretty quick here. We're at 100 alcohols, 100 spirits. So we're doing okay with that. Just want to be able to find that stuff before it gets to be a big problem, because it will be a big problem with our happiness. Our happiness is doing pretty good right now, but if we don't have those alcohols, it's gonna be a problem. So I want to avoid that. I just marked a couple of more plants to gather up over here before they die, because it's getting wintertime. They will die out. So that's kind of why I did that. And then what I should have been doing is gathering trees that were further away, because now that it's wintertime, coming up wintertime, we don't want to go so far and freeze our butts off. So something else to keep in mind. We're doing great. Nobody's dying. That's awesome. We still have our 2 laborers. We got our food coming in. Our water's doing great. Everything is working how I want it to at this point. Tools are getting low. It's something to keep in mind. But again, we want those immigrants in here. We're going to throw them, get them working in the mines. We'll get some more ore coming in. We'll gather some more trees. We'll just keep doing that. We'll have the timber. We kind of have to do manual timber gathering for a little bit here in the beginning of the game, which is a little tedious and gets a little bit annoying, but it's not that big of a deal, and we'll get past it soon. So we'll just keep working with that. And another thing that I just thought of that we don't have yet that will affect happiness is the cemetery. So we want to have a cemetery in for, well, when people die, because if you don't, there's a negative effect that happens there that says whoever is mad that their friend died or whatever, and there's no tombstone to be mourned at. So you want to have those ready to go. And these, I hate cemeteries in this game. They fill up so fast, and you have to replace them a lot. And I just thought of something that I can't believe I haven't thought of before. I usually do a 10 by 10 cemetery. If I did a bigger one, then it won't fill up as fast. But it's also going to cost more materials. Okay, so you see right here, Basil the water fetcher froze to death. There's no tombstone for people to mourn over. So right as I said, we're doing great. Nobody's dying. Of course, somebody dies. So let's get our cemetery in so that for future we're okay. And I think, so this is pretty good flat bank over here. I think we're going to kind of go, well, we could just kind of sneak it in right over in here. Not like a super duper great spot, but I'm going to go for a little bit bigger this time. We're going to go all the way to the mountain. We'll go 14 by 13. See, it's going to cost us 182 wood and 182 stone, which is a lot. So we'll get that. And then before that expires, it fills up, I want to have the material recycling tech learned, because then we get our goods back, and then we aren't losing things for destroying and then rebuilding and destroying and rebuilding, which we will do umpteen billion gajillion times with the cemetery before we have something else instead of the cemetery. So I want to get that next, and we'll do that pretty soon here. Our technology points are getting pretty quickly. Okay, so now we don't have anybody. Oh, we do have somebody working water because our other laborer replaced it. Right. Okay, so that's good. Ooh, it's snowing. Nice. Let's continue to do a little bit of gathering. I'm going to gather all. This is all pretty close. So I'm going to gather this stuff since it's right here. They don't have to go too far. They won't freeze to death. So we'll get those guys picked up. And then hopefully this gets built pretty quick. You can see that we need the timber. We need a lot of stone for that stuff. We don't have that in stock. So we're going to have to find some stone close by pretty quick here. And there's a bunch right over here. So it's not going to be that big a deal. Just something that we have to keep in mind. So we'll get these trees gathered up. We are using our farmers at this point to gather this stuff. But as soon as March comes around, they're going to go back to the field and we won't be able to gather as quickly. But we will still be able to gather. Okay, and let's go ahead and we're going to mark our stone and our iron over here for that gathering stuff. We also need a little bit more stone for our mine. So we're kind of hurting for stone right now. Maybe it would have been more advantageous for us to gather get the quarry instead of the mine, because the quarry will get us rocks. And we did get something there. We got the, that's help. We got a seed, and we got the agave seeds. Excellent. So I mentioned that a few times. We want to have this agave going very soon. So we're at 93. We're doing okay. But now we have the seeds. We're okay for that. We don't have to rush into it right away, but we have it at least checked off our list that we can manage it. So that's good to go for that. Our immigrants are nearly here. I'm getting excited about it. March has arrived. We're going to start planting our pumpkins. And then I am going to actually mark this for 3. I like 3 people on our farms. It usually seems to work the best. Okay, that's good to go. How's our fish doing? So last year, 266 food gathered from our fishing dock. So that's great. It's working how I want it to work. So something else to keep in mind is when you get an immigrant batch like this, you're going to have a big demand on your housing. You're going to have your heating is going to go up, and you're going to have to feed them, and you're going to have to water them. So you have to either put a good hunk of those people onto those jobs or have that much surplus when you accept those people. So it's we're going to kind of be hurting here for probably about a year, because we won't have enough food to sustain all these extra people. But also you need the extra people to continue to grow. So there's kind of this give and take that happens. And so we'll have to deal with that a little bit, but it'll be fine. We'll manage. Okay, let's see if there are any other food things that we can get right now that aren't the farms, because I do want the farms. We will probably have some more pumpkins going on in the next season. We do have orchards. That's going to also take time, but there isn't really anything besides the fishing dock that we have currently that well, I guess the hunter's cabin that we could instantly get some stuff. So I think what we'll do is let's get another hunter's hut going. I usually don't do more than one of these, but maybe that's been a mistake. We'll grab the hunter's hut. You notice that we got something just popped up here that I was going to mention, but now it's gone. Oh yeah, the tools. So the tools are at 0. So now we're at a problem. So now we need timber. Now we need iron ore all the time. So here we go. We got our immigrants almost here. We have 1 laborer left, so we just have to wait just a little bit longer. And here they are. The immigrants have arrived. 10 people ready to roll. We're going to accept those guys. They're going to do their little thing here. Going to go find a house. Looks like somebody's hurt. No tools, looking for a home. So we'll get 2 people. I want to get 2 people assigned in here so we get our surplus back up and operational. We'll get that happening. Let's go ahead and I will assign 3 people to this for next year. Like I said, it's too late for this year. Look, actually, we can just turn it off for now. Too late for this year. And then we'll assign 3 more people to the hunter's hut, but let's do some gathering while we're waiting. We have a bunch of people now, of course. We just found them. Let's do some gathering. We're gonna gather this. We're gonna gather that. And ooh, look at all these rocks over here. Excellent. So that'll be good. Another good reason to have a second hunter's hut, I think, is that we might increase our chance of finding cubs. And again, if you don't know, cubs is like the baby critters here. So we got turkeys, we got alpacas. We already have the geese. I would like to have an alpaca or bison, preferably, so that we start getting leather or alpaca fur and fats. You need leather and alpaca fur for food, for clothing. So we want to have that, of course. So hopefully we get one of those too. We got lucky with our agave seeds here, and I'm happy about that. New tech point acquired. So we talked about getting the material recycling for our cemetery. We're gonna grab that. So now we're prepared for that as well. And I did focus on gathering up some rocks, well, and a handful of trees as well, so that we can get these two things done. How's our iron doing? 714, excellent. So this blacksmith should start producing really quickly. We've already got 5. So we'll get this tool situation figured out pretty quickly here. 100% on that storage yard and basically 100% on that storage yard. Let's get our warehouses operational now. Ooh, this will fit real nice right in here. But I am gonna go one up so that we can put a road in betwixt there and so that we can have a little bit of better access. I guess I could have put one right here as well. That's what I should have done. So that'll get built up as well. We have one person currently as our builder. We have a little bit of wiggle room now, so let's go ahead and we'll put another person in there. We got a couple things queued up to get built. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's see. So this is all taken care of up over here. We got so many rocks. We'll be good for rocks for a while here once those get picked up. And then, like I said before, let's go a little bit further out. It is August, okay? For some trees is what I'm thinking. So we'll go grab a couple trees out over here and do that. And then, okay, so this season is over with. We have gathered up our pumpkins. So I want to assign, I'll wait till about February to assign those 3 people. I want, well, it doesn't really matter because they'll be used as laborers anyways, right? Okay, so those people are accounted for. I don't have to worry about it anymore. They'll automatically get into that. Spirits is at 72, so we're okay with that for a little bit here. And then clothing. See, now we're getting in trouble for clothing. So we can grow flax if we find flax seeds. So that's another thing. If we can either get a critter or some flax, then we can start to grow some of that stuff. It's really important. So we want to have it for sure. I don't see... Sometimes you can see what the plants are. Like, pretty sure that's agave. I'm not sure what that is. But, yeah. So, agave kind of is unique, I guess. Unique looking plant here. So, yeah. We know we got the agave. We're good to go with that. Let's prioritize our warehouse here because we got goods just hanging out, and that's not good at all. Good's not good. So we'll get those things fixed up. It's September, okay? So winter's on the way now. The reserve of food is low. How is our stock on domestic fuels? Domestic fuels is 379, not great. And do we have anybody homeless? We don't have anybody who's homeless. That's great, but we do need to build some more homes now, it looks like. Oh, new crop seed acquired. Excellent. So let's see what that is. We're gonna hit I. Oat seeds. Okay, not bad, but not what I want. I really would like that flax action because we're about to be in trouble here if we can't get. Ooh, box. Dang it! I don't have any fishing nets. If we can't get that clothing happening, we're at 0 clothing now, so not great to be going into winter without any clothes. So hopefully we find that here pretty quick. Either flax or leather. Or that alpaca fur is what we really could use right now. But we don't have any immigrants on the way, but we do have a ship on here. We don't have a dock, do we? Small trade. Ooh, okay. So maybe now's the time we get our small trading post going. We start to do some trade action to try and get some clothing. And we have a little bit of free laborers. Not a whole lot. It's gonna take 4 people. We're gonna have 4 people for our trading. Let's get this thing going. Let's get one started, and then we can start to utilize it a little bit. So I'll do pastures. I want to do pastures over here, I think. This could be housing. So let's kind of go like right over in here. That should be enough space for something on the riverbank. So we'll leave that there. We got citizens freezing. They should be able to run to their house, be okay. But again, here's our clothing problem, and now we have a tool problem. I'm surprised that we still have a tool problem. I thought this would be handled for sure by now. Especially with 2 workers in there, Maybe it was just a little bit late. Very possible. So we also have 0 silver coins, so we have to have a surplus of something to trade for some coin. Well, looking like ore's kind of our ticket right now. It's 655 stock up, so it might be the thing that we do here. Our cemetery is nearly complete, so if people die in the wintertime here for being too cold, we'll have at least some mitigation on that happiness hit that we'll take. So hopefully our builders can get to that soon. Oh, there we go. Our mine is ready to roll. Okay, excellent. So we can start to use coal to heat the houses. That's going to help our timber need not so much. So I think we'll do that. Let's get a couple. I'm gonna go like 3 people in here, not 5. We get 3 people started, get some coal happening. It'll keep us warm in the wintertime, and then we won't use so much wood. Be good to go with that. Okay. Oh, building is closed. What? Did not work? No, it worked. Okay, we're good to go on that. Chopping house. All right. Yeah. So right now we're just waiting for that clothing stuff. We'll get this guy built up too. So timber's pretty low. We'll prioritize that guy. Our cemetery's done. Our warehouse is done. Oh, we do have a little bit of leather. Oh, we have a hunter. That's right. I forgot about that. So we have 76 leather. We have, let's see, any more here? Ooh, a little bit of pack of wool, 80, 399. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We have to find our tailor. We're going to go over here. We're going to put 2 people on that. Just like the tools, we got to get this built up. And I think what we're going to do is a little bit of a storage yard over here. Actually, let's just do a big one. And we'll get this guy going over here. So then these guys don't have to go so far. They have to go all the way over here to store their goods. That's a long walk. It's going to take them longer to get stuff done. So we'll get our guys to build that up. Be good to go here pretty quick on that stuff. And then, of course, we need to cut some more trees down. So we're going to mark those guys for cutting. Well, these guys are kind of far out, but we'll mark them anyways. And we'll get these as well. So we should be doing pretty good on that. Get our stuff gathered up. And we can also gather some plants. Oh, and here we go on February. So we got our pumpkins ready, and then I'm gonna leave. No, you know what? Let's get a couple people working on agave, because I'm gonna take the example of our tools and our clothing here situation. I want to get going before we're out, because if we don't, then we kind of have to struggle for a little bit here. Tools is finally looking like it's catching up, but clothing is not doing so hot. So we're gonna take a jump on our alcohol situation before we're running out. Let's get some agave stored up and good to go. We have our other hunters guy almost ready over here. That'll be good as well to have that thing started up. Still no immigrants on the timeline, so we're kind of getting to this point where we're gonna have to be waiting for that before we can continue to grow. And then that's kind of how this game works. So you get a big bunch of people, and then you can do a whole bunch of stuff, and then you kind of have to hang out and wait. But that's okay. We can think about what we're doing a little bit more in that time instead of just trying to rush through the game. So we could try and gather up a little bit more plant action out over here. You can see we got a lot of little plant things sticking around here. I'm just going to mark up some of this stuff, get it all gathered up, and hopefully we get something more useful as well, like some flax or something. But now that we have a little bit of clothing material from the hunter's hut, we should be good to go for a little bit here. 2 laborers left. That's okay. We can handle that. Oh, so we hit a population milestone, which was 50. So now we get one of these administration things. Construction material consumption is minus 10%. That's pretty good. And obtain technology points plus 1. I think I'm going to go with tech point. Let's go a little bit quicker on there. And we can take a look at the tech points and see what else we can get into. So I did notice that we have some fat stored up. So I'm thinking about getting some soap, and that's going to help our health. So we'll do that. We'll get our soap working. And then we have an event here, drunkards. Let's see what this says. A bunch of drunkards were lighting a campfire and holding a party near the city. Unexpectedly, they started to argue about which wine was better and asked for you to judge. Medicinal liquor or whiskey? I'm going to go with whiskey because we should get some whiskey. Oh, shoot. I got it backwards. Dang it. Medicinal liquor for the others to appreciate. So we're going to get a little bit of medicinal liquor here. I'm not sure if this is going to contribute to our happiness, but it will help our health a little bit, the medicinally part of it. So that's nice. Okay, we do have premium. So it is a liquor at least. So that's good. We will have the happiness sticking around a little bit more for us there. So that's awesome. We're still gathering up timber. That's good. We got a couple more plants to pick out over here. We have our soap. Let's go ahead and get our soap workshop built up as well, and that can be ready to go once we get to that point. And we'll plop this guy right over there. Okay. That's not too bad. Distillery is waiting for that agave action, so we're gonna go ahead and get that prepared. So waiting on some critters, right? Yeah, only geese. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. And I think that's gonna be a decent spot to call this episode. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Settlement Survival, and I hope to see you on the next one. Have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night, and I'll see you again soon.